Hello, welcome back to Talk About Strange. I got a phenomenal story for you here today. I know a lot of you have been waiting to hear back from Eva. Well, she wrote us back. I was lucky I found it because I went into my spam mail, just kind of relaxing after all the work I've been doing here and flipping through emails and getting rid of stuff. And I seen that, it wasn't that long ago, but it has been a little bit since she sent that in. So I'm glad I found it so I can share it because I know you guys have been wanting to hear more from her. Now, those of you who don't know who Eva is, she sent in the story, I am the granddaughter of a Bigfoot. So she's got a follow-up story for us here, Bigfoot's granddaughter back from summer vacation. So she had traveled back home to Russia, and now she's back in Italy, which we'll get to all that, I'll tell you that. So great story. You guys are going to want to stick around for this. Just a couple of quick updates. As you can see behind me, we got the spray foam all done. I spent a couple of days scraping that up, cleaning it up. I got some tips about spray foam, let me tell you. Wait till you see that. Anyway, I got it all cleaned up, and I'm just kind of taking a break over the past couple of days and trying to recuperate from a lot of the work that we've been doing here. I just really haven't stopped. So this is a good opportunity. I did, over the weekend, went for a boat ride on the Erie Canal. It was actually the Erie Canal, Barge Canal, and Clinton's Ditch. For anybody who knows history, you know about Clinton's Ditch. So we got a lot of history on that I did. And that was fun. That was interesting. Good opportunity to kick back and relax. So I took that. Geez, I got a whole bunch of stories to share with you. A lot of great stuff coming. We're going to get started with all of that. We got one here last week, whatever. Things are really picking up again. We're almost at 30,000 subscribers. I haven't checked. We might be there now. We might have hit that 30,000 mark, and we're right on the verge of 30,000 subscribers. I just want to say thank you all so very much for coming over, subscribing to the channel, and sticking with the channel throughout this whole process that I've been working on the house. If you're new to the channel, you can go check out those videos. I got some great update videos while I'm building the house. This has been quite a process, quite a project, but we're getting close to wrapping it up here. And there's still a lot to do, but it's going to go pretty quick from this point. So if you haven't seen that, go ahead and check them out. We have done some other videos. Just posted one here. Teddy Roosevelt had a secret meeting with Bigfoot. So that might be one you want to go check out. So we got some really great stuff. We got a lot of great stuff to come. If you do enjoy these stories and you enjoy this one, don't forget to hit that. Well, you can hit the like if you want. You can hit the dislike if you don't like it, because we don't pick on anybody for their choices or their opinions. We don't pick anybody for their opinions. So we're just glad to have you over here and glad to have you watch it. But yeah, hit that like button, hit subscribe, hit that notification button. And if you really like the channel and you want to become a member, join the membership, and you get some discounts at the Talk About Strange store. You can find that in my About page. So go there and check that out if you want to. And we got a lot of really cool Bigfoot stuff there. I got a fly that's getting ready to walk on the lens of the camera. I see over there, not my leg, now he's on the camera. So you might be watching a fly through this video. Anyway, we're just pulling things together. So kick back, relax, enjoy the story. Let's get started. So from Eva, Bigfoot's granddaughter back from summer vacation. Salad, hello, TAS family. I am happy to say I just returned home to my cozy little villa in Italy after making my yearly voyage back home. I was so excited to get back there and see my family. I know a year seems to fly by fast, and it has. This year flew by real fast for me. But it is still a year away from the people I love so very much. In fact, I have a big announcement to make. I know some of you don't really know me, but I'd like to share this here, and I know my family will likely be seeing this video if Steve decides to share this video. I hope you do. I will. Here I am. So here it goes. This will be my 9th year here in beautiful Italy. I do love it here. If you've never been here, take my word for it. It's everything you could ever dream of. That's what makes this a little bit difficult. This will be my last season here. My contract is coming to an end and I have decided to not renew it. I want to go back home and be with my mom, and I'd like to try and reconnect with my dezdushka, my grandfather, that I've only seen a few times over several years. I'm now realizing that I know so little about him. I've been so fortunate to have had this opportunity, but I miss my home and I'm ready to start a new chapter in my life, maybe start a family of my own. This has nothing to do with the fact that I may have met someone while I was there. Okay, just kidding. It has a lot to do with it. But that is all I'm going to say about that for now. Going home, I was so very excited to talk to all of them about your channel, especially Mom. I told her a little over the phone, but was afraid to say too much, and I'll get to that soon. First things first, I want to say thank you all so very much for all your wonderful comments regarding my last submission. That's all of you guys. I really was terrified sending in that first email. I've never done anything like that before, but I'm so glad I did. It has literally lifted a burden of weight off my chest. Thank you all for being so kind and accepting in your comments. Well, almost everyone, but that's okay, laugh out loud. Speaking of those comments, a few people asked if they could see a picture of me. I really appreciate your curiosity, and I totally understand why you would ask. However, there are several reasons I couldn't share that. One is that I am a professional model. I fear that that type of exposure would end my career if for any reason I choose to continue or even continue part-time. It could also set off an avalanche of backlash for the people that gave me this opportunity. Lastly, it wouldn't be fair to my family, specifically my grandfather and his people. However, I will say this. My picture's already about everywhere because of that career. I've even done a fair bit of TV. So there's a really good chance you've already seen a picture of me. Cool. Who are you? Wouldn't you guys love to see? No? Anyway, I'll respect it. Okay, here's one I'd like to answer for the record. I am not covered in hair from head to toe. Laugh out loud. If I don't shave, I'm just like anyone else, although sometimes I feel like it grows way too fast. As for my red hair, it did not come from my dezdushka. I'm told that my great babulia had fire red hair. I only wish I had a full color picture of her. So that must be your great grandmother. All right, let me see. I do not use MindSpeak, not that I'm aware. I asked my little brother if he can do it. He said he's not sure because sometimes he knows what people are about to say before they say it, and sometimes, if I'm thinking intensely, he feels like he can hear me. So I don't know, but maybe he would practice. I asked my mom, and she said she thought she could do it when she was young, but feels like she lost it over the years, if that was even what it was. So hopefully that answers a couple of the questions for now. As I was saying before, I returned home to see my mom and my brothers. I couldn't wait to talk to them about all of this. I was wondering after all of these years what they might think about having a Bigfoot as a grandfather. We just never really talked about him in that aspect because he was just grandpa to us. I got there before my brother, so I had a chance to talk to my mom first. She wasn't too keen on the idea of sharing our family history at first, but she opened up a bit. It helped that I offered to stay home for a couple extra weeks, laugh out loud. Sure it did. I asked if she knew and how long she knew that her father was more than just a big man. Well, it turns out she did know at a young age, but didn't think much of it. She didn't grow up with a TV and didn't know much about it at all other than the legends and fairy tales. She knew he was different and there was a reason that he never went into town or had people over. She said, grandmother took us places if needed. She was also my mother was also homeschooled. She had friends, but grandpa always was conveniently in the barn or out in the field. Otherwise, he was kind and even sweet to her and the kids growing up. I guess that never changed. She said he never got upset with her, even if she did something wrong. He might give her a look, but that was all it took. That's all it takes for me too. It was my grandpa. Oh, it was my grandma that did the disciplining. Don't get me wrong, grandma was sweet, but she was strict when it came to the rules. You know the ones: be home on time, wash your hands, don't tell lies, and oh, no hats at the table. Laugh out loud. I asked if she had any cool stories about growing up with such a big, strong father, like what I remember with the plow in the field. She had to think on it a while, then asked if I remembered her telling me when she almost drowned in the pond out back when she was maybe 7 or 8, and I didn't. So she went on to tell me. One day she was running around the pond playing with her dog. She threw sticks in the water and he would fetch them out. On the backside of the pond was a small but steep hill that dropped down to the water. In the winter, we would slide down the hill and sail across the frozen pond. I do remember that, and the pond is still there. One summer, she got too close to the edge and rolled down the hill into the pond. She didn't know how to swim and screamed for help. The dog was barking at her as she held on for dear life. Grandpa was working nearby, and even though they had been making a lot of noise right along with playing, Grandpa heard them and knew something was wrong. He came running and climbed into the water as far as he could, trying to reach her, but Grandpa couldn't swim either, and the pond was very deep. She was holding on to some tall weeds over on the steep side of the pond where he couldn't climb down. So he got back out and with both hands grabbed a hold of a tree that was growing next to the pond and ripped it out of the ground. Then used it to reach down the hill so he could grab her out. He then carefully pulled her up the hill. The hill is about 6 to 7 meters down to the water. So that'd be what? 20, 25 foot, something like that. That's a long way down, 15, 20 foot. I don't work with meters, so I'm not 100% sure on that. She hadn't realized how hard that must have been for him to rip that tree out until she was older and pulling weeds out of the ground that were tiny compared to a 3 to 4 inch, maybe thicker tree. Thinking back now, she doesn't even know how it was possible. Yeah. Whew. Other than that, she said she thought of him as being just really strong. I asked her if she had any special abilities like mind speak. She said yes. I raised you and your brothers on my own. Does that count? I said yes, especially my brothers, as I was a perfect child growing up, laugh out loud. She smiled and agreed, but I could tell she was uncomfortable talking about it, so I changed the subject. That is until my older brother got there and I asked him if he knew that Grandpa is a Bigfoot, and he laughed and said, "You're crazy. He is just a big, hairy old mountain man. Give me a hug and leave me alone." But I do think he knows and doesn't want to talk about it. Before he walked away, he did tell me to leave it alone. That's my big bro, though. He's always been a bit of a hard nose. I had to wait until my younger brother got back because we were always a bit more open with our conversations. He didn't arrive until the next day. He knew as soon as he walked in the door that I wanted to talk to him about something. Just by the way I looked at him. So the first thing out of his mouth was, "Oh no, now what?" But I told him it could wait until he got settled in. And I waited until the next day. I asked him the same questions. If he actually realized that our grandfather is a real Bigfoot and that we are hybrid offsprings. I wasn't surprised that he said yes, but I was surprised that he has been researching this for a while now and was more than willing to talk about it. So he's got a little knowledge on this for you. Like being able to lift really heavy stuff around the farm. I'm sorry, what was it? I missed a part. I was more willing to talk about it. For instance, he also remembered Grandpa pulling the plow and a few other unusual things like being able to lift really heavy stuff around the farm. He even believes that is the reason he is exceptionally strong, maybe stronger than normal. I agreed that he is a freak, laugh out loud. I'm joking. He recalled the time that he was helping Grandpa change out some posts that got broken by a big bull my grandparents had. He said that Grandpa could grab the pole with one hand and rip them out of the ground. Maybe that's not much of a big deal, but he was also able to use two hands to drive a new post into the ground without a sledgehammer to drive them in. Yeah, it's a big deal. I've never personally replaced a post. so I have no idea how hard it is. I'm assuming it's really hard to do, but that isn't the thing that stood out the most. My brother recalled going hunting with Grandpa. He said it was very hard for him himself to walk through the woods quietly, but as big as Grandpa is, he couldn't hear him walking even though he was right beside him. Also, Grandpa never carried a gun or a bow. He used a spear, a rock, or a branch. And when trapping, he used what's called a deadfall trap or a snare trap. I remembered almost every time I remember him going out hunting, he came back with some kind of a meal. This next part he told me is a little bit on the disgusting side though. Well, at least part of it. Grandpa does use a sharp knife for cleaning wild game. Both of us remember this part, but I tried to get it out of my head. Forget it. So sometime when cleaning fish, Grandpa would like what you would just call sushi. He would slice some thin slices of the meat and eat that raw. Probably not a big deal, right? But sometimes he would do the same thing with various other animals, big and small. Things like hearts, liver. Yuck. I say no thank you. I'm learning more and more about my grandfather. I hope I'm doing the right thing here, but I feel the more I know about him, the more I know about myself and my family on both sides. I've been watching and reading a lot on your channel and others. Some of the stuff that people say is terrible, even terrifying. My grandfather isn't some kind of a vicious animal. I don't even remember him being smelly. Stupid fly won't leave me alone. Other than what I thought of as hardworking big man on a farm. This fly, I don't know where they came from. Oh, I had the door open earlier and I got a couple flies in here. They're just driving me crazy. Anyway, I know he's not what you would call a normal looking man. I guess I just really want to know if anything I've seen and heard about his people are true. If there are different groups that are good and bad. If some of them are like wild animals. I'd like to know if he has special abilities and what they are. I just have to figure out how to ask him the question without offending him. I don't want to hurt his feelings or have him think I think any less of him. He is my grandpa and I am the granddaughter of a real life Bigfoot, and I couldn't be prouder of that. I've already learned a lot from my trip home and I can't wait to learn more. This might sound crazy to you, but I am planning on finding my grandpa and asking him if he will show me his home and how he really lives. I hope he will allow me to go. Well, that's all I have for now. I'm a bit jet lagged still. I literally just got home, jumped in the shower, poured a glass of wine and started writing. I need to eat something, climb in bed because I have a lot of thinking to do and a lot of catching up to do tomorrow. I hope to have more for you sometime soon. I'm not exactly sure when though. Maybe after I return home, but I really appreciate all of you. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, TAS family. Spagonia? No cheese. Spagon? I should have checked this one first, huh? Spaconi Nochi? Good night. You guys can correct me on that. I should have Googled it. I know you guys keep telling me, Google check your words first. Spagonia Nocha. Spagonia Nocha is Russian for good night. So Eva was saying good night in Russian. So she said hello in Italian and good night in Russian. So very cool. I looked it up to see how it was pronounced and I wasn't getting it. I found it in Russian. So thank you for that. It was really cool. I just wanted to tie that into this video so that you guys would know that I'm not out of my mind completely. Thank you so much. You know what? Maybe I need to get one of those programs and to learn different languages when people send this stuff out into me. Wouldn't you love to know like 7 different languages, even 3 different languages? I mean, that'd be really cool. Anyway, Eva, thank you so much for sending us another message. I'm glad that first one, I couldn't agree with you more. I know people are terrified sending these in. It's really a big leap. And I can't tell you how much we really all appreciate it. You sent that anonymously, so, you are protected. And I don't share any information that you don't want shared. So But we really appreciate you taking that chance and sharing your family's lives with us and sharing yourself with us. We do appreciate it, and we have nothing but respect for you and your wishes. What a great story, and I hope that as soon as you find out more that you'll share that with us. So you met somebody when you were back home, something there, so maybe there's some wedding bells in the future. I don't know, who knows, but hopefully you'll share that with us and let us know what happens there. Until then, good luck finishing out this year. I hope you have a fantastic time. If you ever decide you want to share any of that with us, any pictures or anything, that flies right on the lens, isn't it? Send that out to us. We'd all be very thankful. I think that's about it for now. Like I said, if you guys enjoyed this and your first time here, you can go check out the other story. I'm gonna have to put these on a playlist, especially if she's gonna send more. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and follow the channel, hit the notification button so you don't miss more videos. I really appreciate you joining me here today. We got a lot to come, but that's it for now. So I will see you again really soon.